that's why I didn't.
Okay. We're live, by the way. Just the studio noise, not the cameras yet.
Okay.
Last couple of things I want
I want to make some deep fire. I don't plan on burning down a city this time.
Yeah, please don't.
We all agreed it was a good idea until everything blew up.
I didn't realize that shit was flammable.
I think we need to also put some. That was just do the local activity.
I didn't think we knew it was flammable. Or
No,
did it smell like?
It was like oil.
Did it smell like?
That's
Like-
why we went. That's why we caught on fire, but we were in the. So we thought it was just localized there, but it was in the entire city. And we're like, oh.
Well, it's running through the whole sewer system.
Yeah, but we didn't realize it was like the whole sewer system.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It
It was really bad.
was. Yeah. You'll never catch the live.
Pretty much.
Everyone, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn.
To be fair,
Walk.
Could be fair.
to be fair, we played that one. We were still playing in the pre-Mandela before we had like all the things that kind of made us and stuff that we do. And I was playing basically a mad doctor.
Earth, no, it's sleeping.
And,
the genocide of Kentucky.
I blew up a lot of things in that game.
Got it. You will play it.
I was playing
What's your name?
a mad.
Named Aqua?
I don't remember what I named her.
Silence.
Dr. Frankenstein. You were a doctor. I just don't remember.
Yeah. I played two different doctors. Two different times, but I think that one was the German one or the Russian pseudo one that I kept.
That was the pseudo-Russian one.
Yeah. The other one was purely medical.
Oh crap! Was there a big hole in the ground at State and Esplanade when you were driving over to?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it closed?
Yeah. Well, I was able to get to it. So what I did when I got up, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to get over there. I went through the parking.
I do that too. Okay.
Around, and then I turned because the other side of the road was still open, so I was able to bring to the road.
Okay.
I'm like, oh,
I saw.
I should do 100%.
No. I just saw on Facebook. It says just got reports that State and Esplanade is closed again due to a big hole in the ground.
Yeah, it was exciting. Full-grown men were, chest deep in the hole.
Giggity.
Did you say so?
It's a look that he gives me often.
I know. You're sleeping.
That's quite natural.
Yeah, it's
The thing it
actually
just
working
did for
now.
you? Yes, it's not doing that.
I could be sick for weeks or have a pain that's lasted for months. The moment I go to the doctor, it's not a
Gone.
problem. And it's like, oh, I promise it doesn't hurt at the moment, but it was really painful yesterday. It's
Psychosomatic. Say.
Is it like, am I psychosomatically making myself better, or am I psychosomatically making myself sick?
Oh, wait. There you go. Listen, you should use this coin.
Why?
Is it the one piece?
No, it's the Lucifer coin.
Oh, let me see. Oh. Wow, that's actually $1 coin. A silver dollar.
I don't know. I got it up. Probably not. I got it off the TV.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know, but it says United States of America and God We Trust, $1
Yeah. And so,
from
so does,
1881.
yeah, so does this.
Okay, I put your image in the Grimoire chat there, babe. I should put the cap on. See what the cap looks like.
Oh, that's cool.
Like the little devil's brand on your neck.
Hold on.
This
How
one
did it pull up?
is a wolf on it though.
Oh, wow. That looks scary. Oh, no, that's not. Is that my eyes falling?
Yep.
Through my eyelids?
See the devil's brand on the neck. Did you want to give the demon a name?
Yes.
I gave my mule name.
What do you want to call the demon?
Bob? I'm just kidding.
Why?
I'm
I
kidding.
mean, that's not even a funny joke anymore. Because you say that about every time I ask you about a name.
I do.
Beelzebub.
No.
Beelzebub.
No, that's a
No.
devil. It's not a
Not a
demon.
devil.
But
Not
that's
a
the
devil.
funny part.
No, it's not. It really isn't. Not in the 1400s in Mainz,
Matter.
Europe.
We're gonna call it.
Was it Beelzebub the cat's name from?
Steal it from
Okay.
a different show.
You can call him Rick.
I'm gonna call him Dash.
Dash.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if it was Rick?
Nope. I'm gonna call him Dash.
No, definitely would not be hilarious if it was Rick.
Dash
But-
is main character of the last book I finished.
But do you see what I said, like a deranged Captain Nemo?
I mean, his name is actually, what was it? Dashel Cor de Mior? Dashel Blackheart.
You should look up something that's like black.
I don't want it to sound demony.
Right, devil.
I don't want it to sound devilly.
Devil.
Pinky.
Pinky on the brain. Who's the brain and who's Pinky?
That is always the question, isn't it? The idea, there's the theory that all along Pinky was the brain because he was the genius, not the insane one, because he was keeping brain from
Take it in the world.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know.
he had some Moomba moments of inspiration that brain took advantage of.
I don't know. Copy it.
Ooh, I can make a golem. I want to make a golem.
Then make a golem.
Okay.
Make a golem.
Right.
I want it to follow me around and punch things.
No, precious.
I would like my golem's name to be Penelope.
You can name your golem Penelope if you want to. Because it's your golem.
I feel like you should have like, because you're an apothecary, you should have like a little hand puppet that is like from What We Do in the Shadows. Oh, you have to watch that series.
I did
freaking
watch Meet the
amazing.
Robinsons.
It's on Hulu, right?
I believe so, yeah. But possessed. But it sounds like you. But it's not really you.
Is it a puppet that stays on my hand, or is it a puppet that?
It could if you wanted it to. Her puppet does your puppet.
Like 2 weeks ago. Doing a puppet for one of my personalities, and then, you know, one personality is my face and one personality is my hand.
So what do you think? Should we add this component to the No, it's that component. That's component. I want to make a golem. Will the golem do as you say, or will it go crazy after you make it and hurt anyone? Does it matter? Your family would restrict your abilities to create for a week again, but it'll be a week. But in the meantime, we'll have a chaotic golem.
Insane.
Well, I'm an artisan. Obviously, I'm working with lead. Duh. Of course, I'm
Working
insane.
with lead.
Of course, I'm insane. I'm an artisan, dude. Yeah, to make quintessence and philosopher's stones, I need 23 or 25. But I'm already a master, so I mean, there's a slim chance, maybe. No, there's not even a slim chance. Slim chance for the quintessence, though. I'd have to roll a natural 20. I need more wisdom.
Don't we all?
No, actually, that one would be intelligence. Nope, it's impossible. See, ironically, I'm gifted in alchemy. I'm a master in it, but I only have a +1 to intelligence. However, I am a journeyman, I believe. Yeah, in apothecary and botany, and I'm a +3 in wisdom. You take what you can get.
Well, hey, everybody. I know we've been prattling on. No one really on watching tonight, so that's fine. We are taking on, last week, if you joined us, we did the Grimoires, the Unseen Session 0, which is the creation of our characters. Oh, 2 weeks ago. Sorry, we were off last week. So it was 2 weeks ago. I don't know why they're whispering and doing the 2, and the cameras still saw them whisper it and put their fingers up. So it's pretty funny that they were being subtle in a very obvious way.
Stage whispers.
If I can't see myself, I don't think I'm on camera.
But yeah, so tonight is the kickoff of our short campaign called The Devil's Type. This will take place in the late 1400s of medieval Europe, around the time of the invention of the Gutenberg press. And our team are, well, quick introduction. Captain Jean-Luc, describe yourself.
I'm going to keep wanting to add the card to that.
I know, right?
I know I'm
It's
gonna.
his moniker. It's John Luke, but like people call him Picard.
Oh god.
Okay,
Why?
sorry, go on.
Why do people
John-
call him?
Well, she derailed that train
Totally.
before you even got to the station.
Yeah.
My
Although
bad.
that was totally where I was going. Like, he needs a friend named Riker.
No, you need a pet named number 1.
No, my pet was going to be named War. Okay.
Why are you encouraging her?
Because
That seems like a really bad idea.
it does. But it's also fun.
Okay, what do you look like?
So I'm a very sea weathered, late 30s, almost early 40s individual. My hair's it's dark, but with the sun bleached streaks going through. A little
You
bit
mean
of
gray?
No,
Sun bleach?
sun bleach. You see the gray in the
See?
beard. One of these.
Just when the locomotive was almost back on the track, she comes along, knocks it right off the track.
Well, she plays it at taxi a lot, so surprise you.
Where's the laser?
Yeah,
I would chase a laser pointer.
keep her busy.
Not really a laser pointer. But it
Where do
can-
you get those ones?
Telescopic fingers at the Telescopic Fingers store down on Telescopic Street.
That's awesome.
I think I ordered something for Sebastian and this came with it.
Yeah.
That's great. So he's about 6 foot. You'll see his clothes are, full cigar, very light cotton, but with a nice heavy leather coat, thick leather boots, and
Are you tied to the boat?
No.
Okay, fine.
A small sword on his hip with a buckler drawn over his shoulder. Oh, and his
Emily Tinkerton. What do you look like?
Well, she's rather petite, 19-year-old. She has light brown hair, kind of messy. She keeps herself in an apron, well-to-do kept. She comes from a tinkering family. She's got green eyes. Pretty sure they were green. Yes. What? I'm pretty sure they were green. Anyways, she has like a leather apron that she keeps on. She is often helping in her family's various businesses and the blacksmithy or the tinker shop. But her specialty
child labor.
her specialty comes in potions from alchemic to the herbals. Her interests range in both areas.
So child labor. Guinea.
Child labor, she is the one making the potions.
You.
Yes. Yes.
And Una, describe what you look like.
So she's tall, very willowy, clad completely in black with a deep set hood and a mask.
How tall are we talking?
5'8", not like massive.
You were 6 what?
6.
Just 6 foot?
So
Yeah.
she's not taller than
I don't think
she's
it's
tall for a 15-year-old girl though.
probably the shortest.
Okay.
That's it.
So all in black, head to toe, deep set hood, and periodically you see 2 red glowing eyes.
Which?
But it's intermittent. It's not all the time. But you can't see her features from the hood and the mask.
15th century Europe is an interesting place. It is a continent in transition. The monarchs clash with the clergy clash with the merchants and the guilds, the people clash with everybody. Information has always been the power that the clergy have relied upon. Its control, its understanding, how to interpret it. The 3 of you sit inside a very run-down shack on a pier, waiting patiently. The young man that comes in carries a small leather satchel across his chest, but he's wearing very simple monk robes, No denomination can be seen on it. His hairstyle gives nothing away. The only thing that gives him away that the three of you recognize is the emblem of the necklace that he wears around his neck. The Keepers of the Faith. The Keepers of the Faith are an organization that view faith as a secular existence. Faith in people, faith in monarchy, faith in clergy, faith in the world. But they look through the veil in a very different way. The Keepers of Faith find those things that are unexplainable, the things that are difficult for most people to even understand. Whether you believe in ghosts, possession, evil, good, angels, superstition is not their concern.
Absolutely not. I want to think that's
Keepers of the Faith are concerned
That's what I do.
about what's in between the lines, what exists in the places that people don't know and will never know what exists. A bump in an attic, a rat being chased by a cat, the sound of a screeching owl that wasn't really an owl, someone dying of a mysterious illness. These unexplainable situations have become very important to the Keepers of the Faith. Who they work for, who they answer to, no one really knows. But as the three of you sit there, this is not the first time you've worked with Andrew. Andrew carries a kind of typical European accent, but undefinable. Not really sure where he's from. His complexion gives off a well-traveled, weathered individual who has seen quite a few things. As the three of you stare at him, he comes in, sits down on a box. There's this light rain outside on the seacoast. I wanted to say thank you for meeting me here. This particular errand I need the three of you for is difficult to manage. You're not the first group that we've sent.
Is that why I'm here and not one of my brothers or sisters?
Perhaps. The reason the three of you are here is because Andrew eyes Una with a very kind of knowing glance. There may be violence in this particular investigation. And while some of us make do with brains, some of us make do with understanding of the importance of the moment, there are others of us that simply know how to protect you at all costs. There is a group. They are called the Heralds. They are operating outside of a community, a city. It's Mainz. There's a very important
Mainz?
There's a very important individual who's doing a work and doing great works there that needs our help, even though he doesn't know he's going to get it. He's inventing something that is going to change the world. He goes by the name of Gutenberg, a famous inventor. With his hands, normally good with his mind until recently. A contact that has been watching him for some time, making sure that he stays on the right path. He stays focused on this invention. This invention will change the way the Keeper of the Faith will work forever.
I think I've heard of him. I thought it was mentioning something about him.
Ooh, what skill check do you want to
Let's see.
make? I'll let you pick.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a tinker. Let's see.
It would have to be an intelligence check, right?
What could be a skill
Hmm.
or an ability check?
Like,
Because would tinkering work with that? I don't know, because that's tinkering is
Alchemy
tinkering is like handsy thing.
or lore and mythology or literary and scholarship. I don't know what you have.
But I don't have any of those. But
That
Mine's-
would be a D20.
oh, maybe streetwise.
Yeah, go with Streetwise. I like that one. How
Okay.
many?
It's just I'm just a basic in that one.
So just a regular D20.
Yeah.
She's a basic bitch.
She's a basic.
Hey, there's only 2 skills that are awesome, and that is my alchemy and my botany. The other skills are 1s. I want to be making potions or die. That's a 19.
19.
It was plus wisdom,
Yep.
right?
Plus your wisdom modifier.
Which is 3, so 20.
22.
First roll of the game.
Yay! Do I win? Do I win Grimoires?
She
If
ran-
you haven't won D&D, you're not going to win Grimoires. These games
You
aren't
make
for
that
winning.
sound like
These
she
games are
hasn't
for
won
playing.
D&D.
Huh?
You make that sound like she hasn't won D&D.
She hasn't.
She won Candela. She blew up a town.
Well, that's well, no. She blew up a city.
City.
The city.
The city. She won Candela.
Are we still declaring that victory? I don't know.
I mean,
They
it
were-
depends on what you qualify as
We no longer
victory.
had an incursion problem.
Yeah, there
This
was
is true.
no-
You no longer had a
longer
living problem.
had an incursion.
We were far enough away.
We
from
were
the
no
city.
longer worried about demons killing everybody.
Going to the markets,
Already.
You already killed everybody.
going to the markets, going to the bazaars, and going to those places that allow you to purchase things that you need for your specialties and things that you work on, allows you to notice things, overhear discussions, read handwritten information about this person. Print has been around for a long time, but it's laborious, takes a lot of time, and it's done with little simple blocks of wood that have to be hand carved. And these have allowed people of influence to put up flyers and posters. For the most part, everything is done with
Is it white
calligraphy,
chocolate?
hand done. You've heard of this person by the name of Gutenberg, who is supposedly inventing a device called a printing press, which will allow him to produce hundreds and hundreds of copies of written works per day. But you've also heard that this has begun the rumblings of fear and concern. The common person can acquire such information so readily and so easily. What does it mean for those that are in control? Whether they be lords or ladies, kings or queens, pontiffs or cardinals, or those that choose leadership simply because they can control the very essence of the information and knowledge that people find almost mythical or magical to pursue. This device not only everything it knows, but as you stare at Andrew from the Keepers of the Faith, their sudden ability to mass produce everything they know and to get that out to future members of the order could change the very nature of what the Keepers of the Faith could potentially accomplish.
And I know that my family is particularly interested in it because we're always looking for more processes for whether it's blacksmithing or leather smithing. Alchemy, right? The more we know, the better we can.
The Heralds are a group that confound us. We're not really sure what they're doing or what their involvement is. But they are an organization that we think either seek to interfere or apply their own concern
upon Gutenberg's device.
Can I, since I'm the oldest of the group,
Mhm.
can I do a lore check?
About the heralds?
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free.
So if I have the 2,
That means you have 2d20. You have advantage. Take the higher of the two rolls and add your
I do
modifier.
it too.
Yeah, if you'd like.
I have 3.
So you roll 3d20.
Okay.
Take the higher of the 3.
my modifier, you said?
I didn't drop my popcorn.
Oh no, not your popcorn!
I dropped my popcorn.
What's popcorn?
I know nothing.
With 3 dice.
I rolled a 2, a 5, and a 7.
Nice.
7 plus
21?
what?
21.
It's 7 plus intelligence, right?
Yep.
2.
So 9.
9! Hey!
Proof that it doesn't matter how many d20s you roll, you have terrible luck.
Right.
Speaking of, you have a lot of luck, right?
I do have luck. Yes.
You could roll.
I'm not going to waste my luck on that roll.
In your travels, John Luke,
for complaining about dropping my popcorn.
the heralds are an organization that seek out those that are making important discoveries. And it is said that they don't necessarily stop those discoveries from happening, but there's been rumors. There is a farmer in the western regions of Europe who is said to have invented an amazing new way to plow a field. When the heralds visited him and funded his project, not only did he manage to become very successful, but as soon as his success peaked, he mysteriously disappeared. And no one to this day knows whatever happened to him. They are a mysterious order that seems to seek out and influence people with their own message. What that message is connected to, no one really knows. For the most part, the outcomes of the rumors seem to be a bit more nefarious, a bit more clandestine, almost cultish in nature. In fact, you got in a bar fight one time. You reach into your pocket and you begin to twirl a tooth between your fingers, remembering knocking it out of the old bastard's face that was having an interesting conversation with you about sea monsters. Something that you fervently believe in. You've seen them. You know they exist. But it's been a while since you've been in a drunken brawl in a roadside pub house. But that memory of that herald, that person that you know was connected to them, kind of burns in your mind.
Yes, well, these bastards do spring up from time to time.
There's a person outside of the city I wish you to meet with. He sits at the crossroads. Can't miss it. It's the only roadways that join in front of the city. There sits his house, and attached to his house is his business. He's a cobbler. He makes shoes. He goes by the name of Aloysius MacTeal. I want you to meet with him.
How do you spell that?
Am I related to him?
You are not.
It sounds like delicious, but Aloysius? How do you spell that?
Alisocous. Aloysius, maybe.
You should just call him Mac. That's what he goes by.
What was the last name?
MacTeal.
McTeal.
He has information on the heralds. He believes them to be operating in the city. What they're up to, he has no idea, and he needs help. Lots of help. I've already required horses and a wagon for your journey.
He pulls out a small leather bag. You can hear the silver coins inside of it. He sets it down in front of you.
It disappears.
200 silver for your costs in your journey. Should see you well off. I will allow Mac to determine the success of your efforts. That payment shall be afterwards.
Before you get going, what kind of danger do you think we're going to be in? I need to know what kind of potions I should.
I have no idea. The fact that the previous group went missing. Imagine.
Go Greek fire?
Did you find any?
So about Mac, no luck finding I don't know. You're the specialist in this side.
Out of character. Is he talking about the town? Mac is outside of the town we're in.
No, on the way to the city of Mainz.
Okay, on the way.
So there's a bit of a travel. Not much, but a bit of travel. A lot.
You already acquired.
He acquired horses.
Well, then that's what you ride.
Her name is Betsy,
Well, so bad for Betsy.
and it's not for riding; it's for pulling.
That's fine. You could ride on one of the horses, and the mule and the cart can be pulled alongside you.
Yeah, we already have.
Captain
horses
will
and
have the access to the wagon and the horse, and Una can have a horse as well.
All right, Betsy. I'm jealous.
There is no real sense of urgency. Gutenberg is deep in consultation with himself, trying to invent this thing. However, protecting him while he does it needs to be your main focus once you understand the heralds are trying to do.
Understood.
Well, safe travels.
As you guys watch Andrew leave, you exit the shack by the pier. You find where all the equipment and horses and everything are waiting for you in the wagon.
What's in
is-
the wagon?
The wagon's a partial Vardo, so it's got wood panels that come up.
It's not covered with cloth? on
Not
the top?
covered.
Open?
In the back are plenty of gear that you would need for camping.
Okay.
Everything you would need for a bit of a
Three
travel.
horses?
One horse pulling the wagon with the captain,
Mm.
and two horses, one for you and one for Emily.
I'm gonna, from that bag of 200, I'm gonna just quickly count out 66, 66, and I'm gonna keep the rest.
Okay.
Well, just add that to my mini.
The journey to the city is quick. Stay focused. The need to get to and find Mac and find out what's going on,
Emily?
driving you through both the rain and occasionally pushing through the night. This region of Europe is fraught with bandits. You manage to avoid them as best you can. Seasoned travelers doing this work before, you managed to. However, now you're beginning to see the signs of patrols and organized defenses. Every now and then a watchtower off the side of the road with 4 or 5 guards who eye you casually. There's a sense that they look at the way you are and decide best not to intervene. A kind of quiet respect, just based on how you appear to them. For all intents and purposes, a middle-aged man traveling with his young wife and possibly a young daughter fit in on the
4
road.
years apart.
It's Europe.
You can't see me. I'm very hooded.
No, seriously. The average age of a wife in
Was
Oh,
12?
Was 12.
I'm not surprised about me. I'm just surprised about you thinking Hershey would be my daughter.
well, you never know.
Again, they can't
Younger
see me.
sister, maybe.
Yeah. Well, and keep
Or
in
did-
mind, it's
Uh,
it's the appearance of things. It doesn't have to be true.
This is what's made from that on the road.
You're the daughter, and I'm not. I'm taller than you.
That's fair. Hold on. Because you always take the middle. You're always out.
Yes, because I have a flippin' demon mark on my neck.
Zero.
Well, remember that mark only flares when you're in conversation. So
I
yeah.
know. And with the eyes and the yeah. But it's covered.
You guys arrive at the crossroads, and to Andrew's credit, there sits a very well respectable working class. Attached to it, a small workshop and a small storefront. A very tall, ruddy, big black beard. Keep this. Hey, come on, give it up. The young boy comes out, takes the bridle collar, animals, and drives them, tethered to the side of the workshop. Busy little front shop that people are coming in down in his handiwork, drop off shoes that he was there. Check. Put some this and this. Get you around the back of the workshop. Bring you around the back of the workshop. Bring you to the room. Does. There are maps on all of the walls. There are hanging parchments, sketches, painted images. On shelves, there are little bits of crockery and china, little oddities that clearly been collected over the years. You can also see two big steamer trunks, wooden trunks, that their lids are open and they're filled with all sorts of exotic commodities as well.
Man, am I gonna feel
He guides you over to a nearby series of stools around a long table. And here on the table, he has this very detailed map laid out of the city itself. But I thought I'd have something for you that would be a bit more interesting than that, to be honest. Something happened last night, and I haven't had a chance to investigate yet. That is a farm on the outskirts of town. I don't know who the individual's name is, but it was one of my finding suspects. I'd like the three of you to go over to his burnt down house. See if you could find anything links of what might be going on. I am still looking for evidence here for you. I had no luck. The last I know, they checked into a church and were attempting to investigate the cellar that was in the basement. Cellar of the church. And again, I made inquiries with the priest that was there. Priest Marcus. No luck. Claims they never arrived, never made findings. Suspect he is lying. Say the least. Now, I have noticed individuals going missing, persons of influence. The recent magistrate, is what this. The head of the guard, captain, is in charge of it. People of, how shall we say, reactionary power have been frightened by these kidnappings and are staying hidden away, crying because they don't problem city. As far as I know, Gutenberg is locked up inside of this massive warehouse in his workshop, focused on his work. I've made a couple of attempts to make entry into the workshop, but no luck. There is someone there that, honestly, she frightens me a bit.
She just is simply referred to as the caretaker. What would you like to roll for that one?
I would go lower.
Let's try to go into the
Yeah, go for Lord.
I want to
Okay, go for it. Streetwise might. Remember, every time you use a skill, you check out the box. You only have to check it out one time. 16. I think Streetwise matches just there.
15.
But you've already used Lord Mythology, right?
Yeah.
So you've already got the pick up.
Okay, so wisdom, so 15.
Right. Yeah, you can go ahead and do some little like feel free. You can even use some of the ingredients that I have back there. I have many collections for what to make. Let me know what you like to make it and see what I need. From your standpoint, the caretaker is often referred to as it's almost a label. Caretaker in your something is someone who's specifically meant to protect whoever they've been put in charge of. There's always been rumors that they're part of their own organization, but no one's ever been able to like tether those rumors to anything. But the fact that Mac refers to her as she frightens them, the caretaker only seems complete. And from your vantage point, that has allowed you to think that maybe this is an organization of female individuals that are hired out for the purposes of protection. You've heard of an organization called the Teeth. The organization of the Teeth hires women. Yeah, hires women for the purposes of protecting people that require protection. But they only hire women that look weak. They hire women that look like almost on the outside look like they're incapable, but clearly on the inside they're incredibly dangerous.
I told you, I'm tall and willowy, very slender.
Yeah.
Small,
like I said,
not, yeah, I mean, not small, but yeah, very much like your wife.
Their organization,
You would not think that I'd be like,
the Teeth, have a bit of a clandestine organization. There's the leader of the Teeth, which is the voice. The caretakers are the kind of people that hire out that are needed for purposes of security.
for example,
Yeah. And of course, then there's the finders. And the finders are the ones that specialize in the knowledge of particular areas and regions where those people exist or live for the purposes of protecting them. Whether or not they're connected with the heralds or not, you don't know, but you do know that they're their own organization. Bob is only down. Feel free to use my workshop for your needs. Taking my need to spare blades and spare weapons as well. Here, I just got these the other day. He puts down a kind of leather bundle of lockpicks on the table, hands them over. You know, might need those for purposes. As much as I'd like to come with you, I want to continue to learn about the book. Don't mind. You're free to stay here the evening, like, but the sooner you can get to the bar, better. And I'll leave you to it. Your wife will bring you some supper. What was it? Gets up and
grabs a staff and holds open the door. Richard, what's going on? And you bellow out towards the sun. It disappears down, leaving the three of you alone inside.
Anything that
Which potions would you like to focus
I think he's powder tonight.
Okay.
Black powder would be great. Those are healthy. But I do want to get some health potions or aqua.
I would say he definitely has the ingredient broccoli. Yeah. What's your skill requirements? Like I've got a number of mine, but you roll.
They say in the well.
Okay. So if you've already got the recipe numbers, then you're good.
Yeah.
So he's got the ingredients for the aquavita, which is a very simple thing for you to make with your background. So I'll say you can make 2 potions a day.
Okay, so I decide what I want to do.
Correct.
Healing or really like sorry, it's like it's metal blue.
It does.
so split the difference. Do one healing and one damage.
Yeah, probably require. But
Yeah.
there's no like complicated.
Go ahead and roll. Yeah. Go ahead and roll.
One that would be one box. But
So for purposes of the roll, alchemy, you have how many circles?
I have 3, but only one.
So
Botany,
they
I have
a
2. Until it
Yeah. You can give her the help action. Okay. You can add an. I think that's add an extra die, correct?
I don't get
Alchemy.
so that we don't forget 4.
Where's botany?
Fire. Have to get me in a 15 high.
Okay. Go
Botany
for
is
it.
skill?
It's wrong. Alchemy is alchemy is under intelligence, but botany is concentration.
Do I have to have a certain thing to help her with the other one?
Okay, I rolled 4 die. I rolled 115, so it's a 16. So I made it.
Our dice don't like us tonight.
No, they do not.
Okay, and so the other one is I need to get a 12.
Hey, New Age Geeks,
Help.
thanks for the
You're
raid.
helping me
I would like to help her.
with botany.
Okay, yeah, I think that's an extra D20 on the help action.
Okay, that means it. I got a 14 on one of the dice, but I have a +3, so 2
Seven.
of them would have hit.
Yeah, so you're good. So it takes you about an hour to make the aquavita and the Greek fire.
So remember, that's temporary hit points. It's not actually healing you, and it only lasts for an hour.
Yeah, I definitely helped her with the Greek fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
I know what I'm doing. I've done this many times with help from my brother.
Yeah, like you're watching her make the Greek fire, you're like, ah.
And even I'm not that great.
And she's got like a little wooden mug where she's drinking water while making the Greek fire.
Don't drink the Greek fire.
Okay.
So you're working on the aquavita and the Greek fire. You're scavenging around to see what he has, right?
Yep.
What skill do you want to use for that? You do have perception if you want to use perception.
I don't know why it matters. All these potions, they say they take an hour to make.
I don't
But
really need to
Why
use
don't you just say the potions take an hour to make instead
So yeah,
of saying
let's
out
just
each
use
one of them? It's
perception.
Takes 8 hours.
Right.
Perception.
Perception. Give me a perception roll.
Do we add something?
That should be on your character sheet.
There's no add thing. It just says passive perception, unaware.
It's part of
alert.
wisdom.
It's your wisdom modifier.
Okay.
But isn't it a skill set in?
Yeah. How many
Oh,
dice
yeah,
do you
yeah.
have in it?
down
I
below?
has 2.
Yeah, there you go. So it's
Use
2d20
different
and then
dice,
add your
because those
wisdom.
dice have like
Been
been
shitting on you tonight.
Geez.
Will Wheaton would be proud.
Those ones were not nicer. Okay, they were. 18, and its wisdom is 0. So
Okay.
18.
One of the wooden chests is filled with small knives, but specialty knives. They have an edge to them. They look more refined, more well crafted.
Okay.
What blade do you have now?
Dagger.
Dagger.
Mhm.
You find a scathe, which is a long, thin blade that can be used both for piercing and slashing.
Okay. Yeah, because I have edged weapons.
Yep. It behaves like a dagger,
Okay.
but it will give you a bonus of +1 when using it.
Okay. +1 bonus.
Yep.
Okay.
What are you doing, Captain Jean-Luc?
Let's see if I can see if that box of daggers or knives has a sax knife.
Yeah, what skill you want to use to examine the contents?
Probably my sailing, just because it's a specific type of knife.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna do the same thing again. Some other knives, please. Okay. 15.
15. You find a version of a falchion inside the box, but it's been modified. So it's the size of a dagger, but it's a heavier blade. And instead of 1d4, it does 1d6 damage.
Well, what damage does the scythe do?
Scathe.
It's like scale.
Scathe does 1d4 damage.
1d4 plus
Yep.
1.
Correct. So you guys gather your equipment, gather your items. You leave the workshop, heading out and using the walkway paths of the outskirts of the city. It's not too hard to find his farm because it's burnt down to the foundations. The thatched roof catching easily. The wooden timbers partially collapsed in on each other. You guys stand in front of the dying light of the day. There's maybe an hour of daylight left in the day. The immediate area, the stone wall, it's only about 2 feet high. It looks like he cleared the stones in order to make the wall. The little kind of kitchen garden area that you'd expect to see there is there, mostly intact. You can see a partially collapsed in door that's partially open on the inside. It looks like the fire mostly started at the rear, from what you can tell from just standing here and looking at it. There's a sense of... There's a strange chemical smell in the air as well. Nearby, a couple cows meander into the yard and chew at some of the plants that they would normally not have access to. There's a barn, small barn, about 100 feet away from the main ruin of the fired building.
Was it damaged?
Doesn't appear to be, from what you can tell. The three of you stand, hour left of daylight. What would you like to do next?
Continue writing these into my inventory. Anyways.
Alchemy. I used my alchemy earlier, but can I try to use alchemy to see if I can?
Yeah, absolutely. See if
No.
you can recognize that chemical.
She wants to do the same thing. She
I
just
do.
doesn't know it yet.
Yeah, I do. So I'm still writing these down because there's a large description, and I'm only trying to cut out what I need for quick reactions, like 1d8 fire damage until hit, blah blah blah.
Totally
Anyways,
gotcha.
So
I almost
Dirty
Like-
20.
Dirty
peed
20.
myself when you
It's a
dropped that
tar
on the
smell.
table.
It smells like a tar or a pitch.
can I collect some of it?
If you could find some.
Is it so it smells like we're
It's a
not.
Smells in
Doesn't
the
it-
air, but you don't
Doesn't
immediately...
it? Does it smell kind of like the Greek fire we just made?
No, it doesn't smell anything like Greek fire. Greek fire has a very kind of like
Sulfur.
sweet, sulfury, acidic smell.
Actually describe
This
it here.
smells
Yeah, well,
like...
it says a pitch-like mixture.
Yeah, this
Like the stuff, like roofing material?
yeah, like this would have a very
Maytag,
kind of
sulfur
like...
pitch mixed like
This would have like a heavy kind of acrid, pungent smell.
Like the
Now, is that-
maybe kind of like the pitch and stuff they would put on maybe like boats for
Yeah.
waterproofing?
Yeah. Which can be flammable.
Now, is that pretty typical for like a house burning down, or is that not?
No, thatch roofs would not have pitch. This would be something to be used on boats.
Are we anywhere near water?
Not particularly. There's nearby lakes and streams. I mean, but nothing on the
There's
caliber
no-
that
there's
Captain.
No, there's no wharf here. There's no piers.
You must feel very out of your element, Captain.
He's got his land legs. He's okay.
Wasn't Nolan, I think.
You weren't?
Didn't you say last week during that story that you were born with sea legs?
You don't get it.
Does that mean they're bowed?
I have you know that I'm practically an adult.
Anyway,
My daddy said so. No.
Okay, looking into the building.
Heading inside?
Not inside yet.
Okay, we're
Looking
closer to it.
Inside.
Are you going towards the barn or the burned farm?
Burn farm first.
Okay. Everyone, give me perception checks
Oh boy.
as you approach the barn. Or the
Yay, I
farm.
do have a point.
That's still
19.
wisdom.
18,
17.
17,
14.
14. Give
Don't
me
forget to check
a
perception.
alchemy check, if you would, please.
What was that?
Alchemy check.
Alchemy.
Now, if you have no dots in it, that means you roll at disadvantage.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll 2d20 and take the lower of the two.
8, 8, and 15.
But
That
using it, you still get to
But
put a
it's
check.
It's 16.
Yes, you still get to put it back if you use it.
16 altogether.
16. Well, the two of them are off looking in their respective directions. As you stare where the front wall is burnt inward, you can see some kind of substance is kind of melted into the wood. And it also has that heavy, pungent smell. As you approach it, you immediately recognize it as tar, the stuff that they would use to seal the gaps in the hull of a ship. And it looks like it's been set on fire.
I would like to pull out one of my throwing daggers and kind of test it.
Okay.
Is it still wet? Hot? Like it's been.
It's actually almost sticky like a heavy glue because it's burnt so heavily. And it looks more burnt than the rest of the structure around it. This feels like one of the spots that the fire started. And this would be near a windowsill.
On the inside or the outside?
You guys are on the outside currently. Who got the 19? Captain, as you eye the roof line and you look at the walls and then you kind of glance around, you look off to the right of the farm near the main foundation of the structure. There are very heavy boot tracks that look like they circled the front of the house, of the farm, and then they disappear off into the farm field.
Towards the barn?
Yeah, it looks like it might be towards the barn.
I'm gonna start to follow.
You head in that direction.
I got a 17.
Yeah, what are you focusing on when you're looking around?
The interior of the structure.
You head over to the collapsed door to look on inside. Once inside, you can see the burnt remains of a desk.
Mhm.
You can see the burnt remains of other furniture, bookcases, and surprisingly well-made furniture for a farm. You can also see the physical burnt remains of a body in the bed as well. The partial remains. You also notice that the place appears to have been tossed before it burned. its condition doesn't make a lot of sense. You get the feeling that somebody was in here looking for something, and then based on what Emily has found, you get the feeling that somebody set the place on fire after the fact.
Is there anything under the bed?
Give me a perception check. Is there, you know what? I haven't looked at the character sheet. Is there an investigation option?
I don't think
Well,
so.
I mean,
Yeah, there is. Investigation.
Oh,
Give me an
okay.
investigation check.
it's under intelligence.
Because this is a bit more detailed than perception.
Investigation. 15. I get a +2.
I do not.
Underneath the table, you can see a partial, or underneath the bed, you can see a partially burnt journal. You reach under, you pull it out. I'm gonna need you to expend.
I don't know what that means.
You're gonna lose some sanity.
Oh. You get that back by sleeping, right?
We
Long
yes.
rests, yes.
We established that fortitude and resolve are the same thing, right?
Correct.
Because I didn't make any, but there's some potions I can make that can increase your resolve or fortitude.
Give me an endurance check as you grab onto the journal, if you would, please. Una,
How do I do that?
roll a d20 and add your endurance modifier to it.
Oh.
No, that doesn't
Better-
make any sense. Try
How
it.
do I do a basic
I'll do
ability
that.
check?
It's first
Con
time.
check.
Con check.
Except it's called endurance.
19 plus
Copyright.
3.
I don't understand.
22.
22. As
That
you
is
grip
probably
onto
right.
this journal, you have these searing flashes of images in your mind. The others being busy, you feel the heat of the emblem flare.
Be careful with that. That's been places.
Like where?
I'll open it up.
I opened
Let's
that.
read.
You open it up and you realize you're now reading it through Dash's eyes. As Dash begins to read it, your mouth is moving without your own sense of control. Your mind is racing as if to be in balance with Dash's 3 millennia of information. Give me investigation, but you can do it at Dash's age. So give me, you can roll 3d20 because Dash is doing the investigation. And then obviously add your intelligence modifier.
18 plus 2. 30, 20.
Very 20. The journal's badly damaged, but you discover 3 parts of the journal that you focus on. There's most of the part of the journal that survived are handwritten notes that you find at the back of the journal. They were folded in such a way that when the fire started, it burnt up the edge of the journal, but never really caught where these handwritten notes were. One of the handwritten notes has a title at the top, Voices from Beyond. And it seems to be some kind of invocation that's written into it, as if it was meant to be told to somebody or said to somebody. But most of it's burnt. Hard to tell what it means. The final page that you find is a set of scribbles. Too late, they come in fire and shadow. It would appear that the person was in the midst of working on something. You're not really sure what it is. Like they were sketching out something or leaving a note or something. On the inside of the journal, the name of the farmer or whoever lived here was the name Cillian. Cillian. You reach the edge of the barn. Barn doors are shut. The boot trail leads up to the edge of the doors, but then goes around and behind the barn. You follow it behind the barn, and there you pick up on 3 more sets of boot tracks, and then all 4 sets of the boots seem to lead off into the cornfields.
I'm gonna check the barn first.
Okay. Give me investigation on that as you go to check the barn. Emily, what are you doing? You've tested the tar and are convinced this is where the point of the conflagration started.
Natural 20 for 25.
Okay.
Natty 20, natty 20, natty 20. First natty 20 of the game.
Nerd.
I mostly support when I'm on the team because it's really hard to find somebody who knows how to make potions. That's why I'm on the team. But I will attempt to look around and see what I can find.
I'll let you, you pick a skill that you'd want to use because you are kind of a specialized individual in what you know. And since you're already tracking on the fact this place was probably burnt down by somebody.
Remind me what this person's evocation was.
What do you mean?
His occupation,
No idea.
Farmer?
this farmer?
Yeah, we had no idea. Mac asked you guys to go make investigation as to what happened to the person and why they burnt the place down. It was a person of interest that he was following, but only briefly. He's kind of hoping you can tell him what has happened.
What happened to this guy? And what his deal was?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's any animals.
There are a couple of cows in the garden. As you kind of glance around, you can see where Captain John Luke is over by the barn. He's in the process of opening up the door. You can see where Una has pulled something out from underneath the bed, and she's currently examining it in her kind of private way that she does. You do catch a glimpse of a gray cat sitting on a posted fence that's partially collapsed and just kind of staring at you in a strange way.
The way a person is based on their animals. So I'm gonna first go up to the cat. Best
Okay.
way I can.
Okay.
Cat's gonna start talking to you.
That'd be awesome.
Give me an animal handling as you approach the cat.
I got 1 point in that.
There you
It's my
go.
disadvantage.
Don't forget to check it off.
That would be a 13.
13. It goes to run, but then it stops. It watches your cautious approach, and as it does, it leaps down off the fence post, comes over and starts rubbing up against your legs and doing that thing that cats
Scratch
do.
under its,
You gotta reach out, and as you scratch under its chin, it has a collar on.
cool.
And the collar is twine and a small silver key attached to the twine.
See if the cat will let me pick it up and retrieve the key.
That 13 is good enough. You pick it up, you take out a small blade and cut off the twine and take the key.
Una, think you can use this?
I'm gonna go look at it.
You're the sneaky.
As she comes out, what's your passive perception?
I didn't write it down, but it's wisdom plus 10, right?
Mm-mm.
No? 5 plus 10 plus wisdom
Oh,
modifier.
5 unaware, 10 aware, plus your
So-
wisdom modifier.
I'm alert right now because we're in a situation.
So it would be 10 plus your wisdom.
And my wisdom's 3, so
13?
Oh, plus perception skill.
There was a very faint,
Skill level.
Skill level plus 1 then?
I don't know.
correct,
Yeah. How many dots you have in it?
Yeah. +1. There was a faint glow emanating from Luna's cowl that disappears very quickly when she comes out after you call for her. It's a very faint glow of red, just briefly, and then it's gone. She comes over and grabs the key from you. As you look at the key, don't remember seeing what that might fit inside the house. And that's when you glance up to see Captain head into the barn. Doors open, and he goes inside the barn. Give me perception as you begin to enter the barn.
Was there anywhere that I failed to look in the house that might hide something that the key?
Burnt dresser. There were some burnt bookshelves. You think you remember seeing a burnt box of some sort as well, like a chest. What'd you get?
18, 19, 20.
Oh my
Straight.
god!
Nice. I'm
So-
gonna go back and see if the
23.
chest had a lock that
Okay.
fell.
Okay.
Maybe.
Give me another investigation check of the interior of the burnt farm. As you now begin to glance around. As you enter into the barn, there's that typical hay and straw smell, musty. You see 3 empty stalls where animals would normally be, which gives you the feeling the animals were never put in for the night or they were let out. You're not sure. As you approach the back portion of the barn, you see a shadow move. Silhouette of a figure. Move quickly from behind a stack of hay bales to behind another stack of hay bales.
That was stealthy.
Gonna go ahead and hit my.
A dagger goes right by your ear.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna insert what I was.
Does it go out the doors? Do I get a free dagger? Not that I care.
Grab my shield.
Okay.
Pull out the falchion.
The new falchion blade that you got. Okay.
And go. Girl, get in here!
You hear someone yell. You charge at that moment.
Charge it up.
As you charge into that, in between the hay bales, a kind of wiry looking fellow wearing all browns, leathers, and simple. He's got a brace of daggers on his front, actually throwing knives on his front. He's got broken yellow teeth, and he kind of like sneers at you. Go ahead and roll to attack, if you would, please. Are you being aggressive?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm charging like I'm
Okay.
just gonna bash him into the wall.
And you specialize in edged weapons, right?
So edge weapons, brawling and grappling,
Okay.
and block and parry.
Okay. So go ahead and make your edge weapon attack.
Well, I'm using the shield, so that's what I was thinking of the brawling.
You're gonna do the brawling?
Yeah,
Go for it.
throw him in.
Boy.
Double 20.
Double natural 20s. Yeah, that's going to be a critical, and we are going to stick with the homebrew of max crit. So, what does your
So that's gonna be if I'm going with my strength with that plus 3 for 23 for that.
Well, yeah, it's a crit. You automatically hit on a crit.
Yeah.
I don't know why you guys keep.
I
doing
just love
that.
doing it. Okay, I like math. Leave me alone. Let me math.
Don't be mad because I like to do math. Everybody else hates doing
I
math.
want to know if we got that 30, okay?
I worked really hard for that 33.
Exactly.
So the blade normally does 1d6.
I didn't think
Blade
he hit him
normally does 1d6.
did he hit him with the blade or did you
Oh,
just
the
hit him
shield.
with
I was doing with the shield.
shield.
So,
just shield bashing?
So how do we want to do damage?
Be like
for
an
that?
unarmed strike?
Well, no, there's no rule for that.
I know.
Well, unarmed strikes are 1d4.
Okay, then
So
go for it. Because it's a crit, it's automatically 4
Automatically
points,
4 plus
and then
1d4.
roll your d4 and add your modifier.
You're gonna kill him.
So 7 plus 4 is 11.
Okay. You're aggressive, so your armor class is a negative, I believe, when you're aggressive.
It's
Just
just
zero.
0. It's 0.
Okay, so what's your normal armor class then?
So with my leather and my buckler,
Yeah.
I have 7.
7. So it's definitely going to hit you. You feel a blade come up into your ribs as you take 3 points of damage. And then your buckler catches him under the chin. You hear a sickening crack sound as his neck breaks
Aww,
and his body
we
limply
needed to-
falls to the ground.
Okay, and we show up. We're totally
Like as you guys come running into the barn, there's the captain staggering away from the hay bales.
I rush to him and I close my eyes while I try to do a first aid kit because blood.
Wait, is that your fear?
I can do first aid and surgery, but I am terrified of blood.
Oh my god, that's awesome. That's so perfect. There's a rule for sanity checks.
Do this.
Where is it?
Okay. Hold still. That's so
You know what? Emotional resilience. Give me an emotional resilience when you see the blood.
emotional resilience. Where's
Yep.
that?
Skill,
Yeah, it's
endurance.
Skill underneath endurance.
Which I do not have. I
So
don't
it's
think.
2d20.
Take the lower.
Add your endurance modifier.
Take the lower.
13
That will cost you a sanity.
No,
plus,
that's plus.
Oh,
endurance plus 1 for 14.
14? You barely hold it together.
Ah!
Barely.
I'm
You
so-
almost panicked. I gave you a DC of 14.
Oh my
You
god.
almost panicked, and it would have cost you a point of sanity.
I
But
wrote a
it
16 out of
doesn't.
13.
Yeah, I love it.
I can do this. I've done this before.
You pull out the blade. It's like a little throwing knife that was jammed up into his ribs kind of quickly. You can see the wound and the blood freely kind of pouring out.
While she's doing that, I'm investigating the dude.
Okay, give me an investigation check as you examine the remains of the guy.
do have a first aid kit.
Okay.
I don't remember how that helps though. So it has bandages and stuff. I don't know
What'd
if I
you
can heal with it though. Is that a thing?
Investigation is intelligence. I got a 10.
Do you have a description for the first aid kit?
It says first aid kit, surgery kit contains bandages, needles, threads, surgery, knives.
You need to look in the
or set alcohol and vinegar.
in the skill section. Under
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do that while.
Yep. Check underneath that. What'd you get for investigation?
10.
You have to be patient with us, folks. We're learning this game as we play it. That way you can learn along with us. We're actually play testing this game, so it's more about the outcome of how they're playing their characters. I'm a narrative GM, so I do everything very narratively. And we're going to get back with Josh on a regular basis, and he might even be watching in the future. So you can see how we're playing. He's going to correct us for our mistakes, and then he's obviously going to interpret how we use certain skills and how we use the rules and how we're trying to find rules. I think a cheat sheet, which is on his list, that is something he's currently putting together, is a cheat sheet to make it easier for you to find skill references and stuff like that. So what'd you get? 10? You find a leather bandolier with throwing knives tucked into them.
I take it.
Yeah, take that off of him. He is in not well shape. Like, he is corded and thin, like he's muscular, but his teeth are rank. His physical appearance is quite dire. Not very well kept. There is a folded up handwritten note in his pocket, but he carries nothing
So
else.
you'd have to wait till we take a short rest.
Take
Because
the-
the first aid would be if I got knocked down.
Okay.
That's what I'm reading here too.
And
And it brings you up to 1 hit point.
brings you up to 1 hit point.
Versus-
surgery.
Returns you to 1 hit point. So
Surgery on the other hand.
So is that if he
takes
falls
a short
unconscious?
rest while-
Well, you took 3 points of damage. How many hit points did you have?
I'm at 13. Right?
yeah,
Okay.
so I guess it doesn't really do anything because it brings you up from 0 to 1. But I guess that's not.
I'll take the bandages and I'll just stick them there.
Okay. Which will stabilize you. Okay.
So you're not bleeding out. What's the note say?
The note is handwritten, no signature, just a simple phrase. Keep an eye out. If anyone snoops around, let us know. No directions, no instructions, just very simple. Keep an eye out. If anyone is snooping around, let us know.
Does the handwriting look similar to any of the notes that were in the journal?
No, very different handwriting.
I walk over, I grab his leg, and I check his boot.
No, it is not similar to those other boots at all.
Back down. Loot the body.
Una's already been kind of going through the remains. You can give me an investigation check as you check as well.
Mine was not very good. You can check them too. It does not hurt Callista's feelings.
Got it.
Roll that I just did. Such an investigation. I rolled a 10.
15.
15.
Take his
Because
shoes off and look under in his shoes.
you begin to check the interior of his waistline to see if he's got anything folded up into his clothing or anything kind of tucked away.
But
Strip him naked.
Yeah, an
I
old
checked
mariner's
him.
trick was to stash money pouches and things in ways that people wouldn't think of look. But as you pull up his tunic, you begin to realize his whole stomach and chest is tattooed. And as you lift up, it's an upside down pyramid with an eye and two wings extending out from behind the pyramid, and then liquid blood kind of coming down from the bottom of the pyramid.
It's an upside down pyramid?
Mm-hmm.
So, I know a D4 is not a pyramid. So, like this.
Yep.
With blood dripping this way and wings out.
And an eye in the middle.
That's the sign of the heralds.
Could be. Matches the tattoo on that guy that you nearly beat to death in the bar or in the pub house.
I was going to say history.
We accidentally killed our
It's
informant.
technically back then they still call them taverns, but they actually call them public houses.
Because I'm gonna leave this stuff to them. This guy has been injured. I'm gonna pull out my alchemy set that I have. I don't know if we're gonna be here for an hour. We might, if we're here for an hour. I'm going to try and brew up a potion of it's like Therac. It's potion healing. It's like
Okay.
Therac. It should. It only works. You can only use one a day.
Okay.
And it heals 1d4 points.
Yeah, go for it. Make the DC check.
Okay.
With your apothecary or alchemy skill.
This is apothecary.
Okay, let's go for it.
I rolled an 18.
Nice.
So for the next hour, I'm going to be making that so I can dose him.
Okay.
Wait, dosing who?
Me.
The dead guy?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's good.
I can bring the dead guy back to life. I am that powerful with my
I'm going
alchemy.
to use lore mythology to see if I can.
Yeah, go
confirm
for
that
it. Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably potions in here. If I roll a 24 or 25 to bring people back to life,
19.
maybe.
19. This is in a form of the Herald's mark, but the blood dripping down makes you think it's more of a militant wing of the Herald. The tattoo on the guy you got in the fight with at the tavern, it was a tattoo that seemed to emphasize knowledge, because the eye was the main part of the tattoo. It would appear whatever is the more prominent aspect of the tattoo might be their role in the organization. You're in the midst of investigating the farm, correct? The interior of the farm. What role did you get for that?
Well, I had been investigating the dude's body, and
Well, no, that's after you came into the barn.
Yeah.
But before he called you to come in, you made a roll because you were investigating the interior of the farm. Do you remember what that was?
I think it was a 14.
You can roll again if you'd like.
Okay. Well, it's a 15 now.
Okay.
I think 13 plus 2. Yeah, 15. That's a negative or a disadvantage for me. So
Okay.
rolled a 19 and a 13.
Now that the captain is fine and Emily's in the midst of brewing up one of her concoctions, you head back in because you remember seeing something in the fireplace that concerned you. As you head back in and you approach the fireplace, you remove a brick that was loose. Behind the brick is a iron box.
Ooh.
You begin to remove more of the bricks. You pull out the iron box. It's about the size of a shoebox when you pull it out. And it looks to be locked, and the key that you have might fit it.
All right. I'm going to try it. Does it appear to be trapped?
Oh, you give me an investigation check.
I just did.
What's in the box?
16.
16. Had you tried to not use the key, there's a little area where this very sharp protrusion would have come shooting out if you tried to fiddle with the lock. But because you have the key, you can hear the click of it fall away, and the trap is no longer set.
Yay, being friendly with animals was helpful.
As you open it, there is a rolled up piece of parchment inside the box.
All right. Let's look at the parchment.
It's a deep blue.
The cat owned the farm.
Of course, the cat on the farm. They're so in everything. We just are the
Let me see,
caretakers.
what would this check be? Give me either language or lore and mythology. Okay.
Because I have 3 dice in it, not none.
I mean, you have to choose, right?
I have to choose. I mean,
Disadvantage or mastery. But then he could decide it's a
20.
blended skill check. Take the two.
natty 20.
Nice.
He could have decided.
You recognize the herald's writing. It's the cultish glyph writing that they use for their secret messages, which now has you concerned. This farmer, Cillian, may have been a cult member who might have fallen out of favor. As you begin to decode, based on your limited understanding of what they use for the language, it says Saint Willibald's shadow, binding the printer, the herald's voice must die.
Finding the printer. The herald's voice must die.
Oh, and the body's just like gone.
Okay,
right?
Saint Willibald's shadow, binding the
In
printer.
the bed, partial remains are in the bed.
The herald's voice must die.
I would also say you remember seeing on the detailed map on Mac's table, there is a church called St. Willibald's.
That is the place where everybody keeps dying or missing.
Possibly, yeah.
Saint Willibald's shadow, binding the printer, the herald's voice must die.
Everybody keeps going missing in the region of this church. Probably nothing.
Oh, it's just organized religion.
And a church would never do anything. They're fine.
Okay, but the other group is called the Heralds, right?
Yeah.
The herald's voice must die. Who's the herald's voice?
I don't know. I'm not
Is that what they
there
call the
reading
leader? Because that was what they called the leader of the teeth. The voice.
I mean, you try to make a connection, but it doesn't seem to make sense.
Okay. Okay.
them. Bring it over.
What do you-
can bring it back to Mac.
Well, yeah, we're gonna show Matt.
But yeah, I finished checking the body.
So she's busy making her concoction. Would you roll?
I rolled in an 18.
Okay, so you're good.
I'm gonna keep that lockbox with the
Okay.
key.
Yeah.
John, and whatever you do, don't make yourself bleed more, please. I'm concentrating over here.
I'm fine.
Don't stop moving.
You take it off his boots.
Yeah,
I had pretty nice boots. Yeah,
Will they fit you? I
they're
mean,
really nice boots.
How tall is that guy?
They're unusually nice boots. They fit you, but as you're examining them, the rear heel's loose on the boot.
check it.
Yeah, you take it off. A single silver coin falls onto the ground. As you pick up the coin, it has strange notches on its edge. 4 notches. Like they've been carved in purposely.
I'll check the boot.
is that his kill tally?
I'm sure that's where you keep your kill tallies, is in the boot, in the
And the heel of the boot.
heel of the boot of your stilettos.
Stilettos?
She's not wearing stilettos.
If you weren't, how are you going to fit anything in the heel?
Well, they're
If it's
The
a-
Tall
notches,
and-
the notches are on the
if-
heel.
if it-
yeah, the notches are on the heel.
if
She
it's
barely
a
has any
leg,
heels
it
left.
makes sense. But if it's a- there's nothing
There's
there.
just a
A line.
line on the inside of the heel.
No, she just doesn't redo the heel. She just
No, it doesn't
redunks
cut them
the-
off.
No. She just dunks the heel.
Did you want to head back in and examine the body in the bed?
Yeah.
Give me investigation for that one. You're done making your potion. What would you like to do? The 2 of them are now still looking.
Before he goes, I grab his collar from
Okay.
the back, put it in his mouth. Drink
Oh,
this.
Roll D4.
See how much it helps. Roll the 4.
Nice. You get all your hit points back.
Yay!
19.
Stop
19.
bleeding.
Couple things you notice. The body, whoever this was clearly tied to the bed because you can see strange, like where the ropes burnt back towards the bedposts. So this person was held at their will,
Against their will.
against their will. They purposely set the place on fire, and at least you get the feeling at least 4 people were involved. And they left someone to keep an eye out just in case someone came snooping around. All this has happened in less than 24 hours. I mean, the place is still a little bit warm from the embers just finally settling down. But you also, yeah, you've probably noticed this. As you stand on the edge, kind of like examining the burnt remains, and as she comes walking back from the fireplace, she's carrying this cool box that she's checked out. The 2 of you at the same time hear an unusual creaking noise, like in the floorboards that you're walking across. Like they're squishy
Trapdoor?
and they're loose.
Oh, I'm looking.
Yeah, you reach down,
Yeah.
you pull up, you both start pulling up floorboards.
And I'm just standing in the doorway watching them.
Yeah. Pulling up floorboards. There's a
Gotta check the subfloor. Gotta check
yeah,
the
there's
subfloor.
like there's a 5-foot wooden and stone stairwell that leads down into a root cellar.
Okay. I'll go
Great.
first.
I just dropped the Greek fire now.
No.
We don't want to. No, we need evidence.
That's
Okay.
true. Okay,
Unless you want to go
burn it now. If you burn it all now, I won't try to kill you later.
We'll burn this the whole city down.
If you burn
We
it,
burned
there's
this
no
city.
light.
We burned this city.
Who's going down first?
I'll go down first. No, he goes down first.
I got the
Okay.
He's got a
So,
shield. I don't
Captain,
have a
you
shield.
start crawling down. You following them behind, and you start coming down as well. The 2 of you lean down. You're in the doorway, kind of keeping an eye on the front and watching them go down into the root cellar. It's not very tall. It's only a 5-foot tall cellar, and you could smell musty foods, like they were storing farmed foods underneath here, so you could smell them, kind of both burnt and rotted from the buckets of water that were probably being tossed on here. But at the back end of the root cellar, as you're kind of hunched over, getting towards the back end of the root cellar, the 4 of you see the 2 of you, because she's up top.
Mhm.
2 of you see what looks to be the beginnings of an altar of some sort. It's very small at first. As you get closer, you can see skulls that have been
Human?
adhere. They appear to be human. You're not quite close enough to know for sure. This is what you're seeing as you get closer to it. These skulls are attached to the backside of this stone. There appears to be the mark of the herald on the flat of the stone with an image of a quill kind of striking through the heraldry. And it's either wax or coagulated blood. You're not entirely sure. The shrine has a weird vibe about it as the two of you approach it. I need the two of you to make endurance checks, if you would, please.
With the
That's just 1d20.
emotional resilience.
Yeah, you can do emotional resilience on this one.
Resilience?
Or grit.
Well, I think you spend grit.
No, there's
Okay.
grit.
Grit is, I think, more physical, isn't it?
Endurance. It's emotional resilience.
19.
19? It's shocking to see this because as you guys approach the shrine, there is a sense of a mix of blood and wax that has caused the skulls to be attached to the fix. Someone put a lot of great care and effort to build this shrine.
So glad that I'm up here.
Shut up.
You can stay down there with all the blood wax.
Lots of pigeons. Lots of pigeons.
All right.
I'm playing with the pigeons with my animal.
Is there anything like any tokens that might be potentially from the previous group that would make us think that these skulls belonged to the previous group of people? How old are the skulls?
It's a good skill for that, do you think? That would be
For shape,
Autopsy.
surgery.
Anthropology.
do we have an anthropology skill?
There's first aid and surgery, but that's like the medical side of it as far as intelligence goes.
Yeah, I would just go with oh no.
Okay.
You hear dash in your mind
Mm-hmm.
as you're examining this.
Mm-hmm.
Captain,
There's a glow coming.
there's a
from
glow
underneath.
coming out from underneath the cowl of Una's shroud,
Mhm.
and you hear dash. It's a mark of a herald's emblazoned. That's dark magic. Give me an occult magic check, if you would, please.
It's a
Is that
14 on my pass.
On your passive?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you don't hear voices. You don't. There's always been these off, kind of like strange moments when you swear that the interior of Una's cowl will light up just subtly and then dim.
16.
16. As you begin to try to understand what these skulls and everything
You said
mean,
heralds emblazoned.
yeah, you hear Dash begin to kind of growl with anger, like he's being challenged,
Mm-hmm.
and he mutters in your head as he like fades, "Voices, it's the voices, it's the voices of the heralds."
He's the voice. What is he talking
And
about?
Dash just kind of fades. This is going to cost you a sanity, unfortunately.
He's the voice inside the head. What is he talking about? Voices.
He's inside my head. Why would it cost
So
me?
the
a thing? I
voice
mean,
has
he's-
voices inside his head.
Yeah.
There's some problems.
So the voices of the herald, So the herald's voice must die. Was in that node.
Anything else you guys want to do while you're here at the farm?
Was there anything else on the altar?
No, that was pretty much it.
So
Pretty much
the
everything
herald's
so far that you can
emblazoned.
find.
This is. I'm gonna tell him.
Oh. If they,
This is the mark of the herald's emblazoned.
if they didn't take that guy's throwing daggers, I would totally.
I did.
them.
She did. Yeah, she took the. They're technically throwing knives,
Yeah.
so they only do 1d3
1d4. I
No.
have those.
No.
throwing knives.
Yeah, throwing knives.
Oh, they do 1d4.
Mhm.
Okay, they do 1d4,
I have two things
And
that
I
I
have
can
the guy's
do.
boots.
and you have his boots. Yep,
I could.
and the coin that dropped.
How many knives?
3.
I got a quarter
Yeah,
staff and I
talk
got
to
throwing
Mac about
knives,
that
and
coin.
they both do D4.
Okay.
That's the only thing I got for weapons.
So you guys wrap up your investigation. The graveyard wagon arrives. You watch as these two kind of simple folk go into the interior of the farm and they gather up using simple discarded linens and wrap up the body of its remains, put it in the cart, and immediately start dragging the cart out towards the cemetery.
They're
Dead.
Yeah, there's a body in there that we killed.
As soon as they're gone, I'm gonna go back to the barn and find like some sort of like burlap sack
Okay.
and stuff the body in there,
Okay.
and then bring him back with us.
Okay.
To Max.
Yeah, you kind of wrap them up and throw them over your shoulder.
we
That's
got a
not-
wagon,
Not going in my cart.
or did we
My
leave a
cart's
Through the
wagon?
No,
wagon.
you walked over.
Yeah, we walked.
Oh, I have my cart.
I'm
Betsy's
not
with me.
carrying.
Oh, you always
any-
bring Betsy with you? You
He
put them in
looks
the
heavy.
Oh, yeah,
Betsy's
well,
cart.
we'll throw
Yeah. Throw them
Yeah.
back of Betsy's cart.
Yeah, it's nice.
All the glass bottles clang when you
Anything
put the
else
body
in-
back there.
The barn that looked like worth taking.
Not really. It was
There's a
very.
cat. We're taking the cat.
You guys want
We're
to
not-
take the cat with
we're
you?
not
Yeah.
taking-
Keep the cat.
My cat now.
Okay. I mean, you rolled a good animal handling. We'll say that it's like sitting in the wagon coming back with you.
We can eat you later.
You know, I don't like it when we eat cat. I like it when we eat dog. Dog's better.
I like
Good meal. Fine meal.
I'm not eating my cat.
I am trying not
I
to.
take 470.
No, I am trying not to channel Ivar right now.
Fucking pets.
I have no pet.
No. Because she wants to eat.
Princess Crystal Light doesn't like the way you say that.
Princess Crystal Light.
Princess Crystal Light.
that's such a Caroline maneuver. You guys bring everything back just as the sun sets. It's dark out. You can smell and see all the lamps or the lanterns being lit throughout the city. In the backdrop, because at the Crossroads, when you're at Mac's place, it's the main road that takes you into the interior of the city itself. So the last of all the daytime workers and farmers and everyone coming in to either drink or eat at the taverns or start the kind of usual activities of a nighttime life in a medieval city, you guys found yourself back in the workshop with Mac. How much are you telling him? Everything, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
We're like,
I want to.
get into the work.
I want to observe this guy. We don't really know him. Like, I've been in the crafting area for a while. I haven't known him. I don't know if my family's known about.
You know, Europe's not 1,000 people.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
the thing is, when you're in small communities, everybody.
Europe
knows
is not a small community.
anyway,
Everybody knows everybody.
I'm going to go ahead and pick up the dead body out of her wagon,
Yeah.
leaving the blood stain that's steeped out
You're
of the
cleaning
blocks.
that up. You're cleaning that up. Cleaning that up. And you're cleaning up now.
You bringing the body in, Max?
Bloody
Max,
rag. Just making it bigger.
well,
Captain, if you need to get rid of that, you can throw it in with the pigs. They'll eat
yeah,
anything.
We'll do, but I want to show you something real
He's
quick.
got a tattoo.
Open it up.
Hey, that's a herald's tattoo, all right.
Yeah.
The blood. This is an assassin. This is someone
That's what
sent
that means.
to.
I should know that.
Where did you find this person?
He's
He's in the barn.
Trying to kill him.
Keeping an eye out on things. If you
He
hadn't
had
run
this
into
note
him,
on
they
him.
would have reported that we had made the investigation.
He had this note on him.
Good on you that you killed him, but would have been nice to figure out where the fuck they're hiding.
That's what I told him.
Yeah, well, didn't think his neck would snap like a twig.
Hey,
He took
a little
some
more
damage.
caution
for it.
next time. Just, I understand.
He didn't even poke him. He just bashed him.
Yeah, well, look at the size of him.
Is there any chance I can purchase I had to whip up something for him. Is there any way I can purchase the supplies that
I did just get it out of the box there.
I'm gonna fill
Yeah,
my
just refill what you need. That's what I'm here for.
Also, there was
Yeah.
a shrine for the heralds under there.
Yeah, the shrine. What is this? Why the herald's voices? The herald's voice. What does this mean? And why do you kill it?
Seems strange. Is
Herald
Gutenberg
does.
the herald?
The herald is usually the color of the town. I'm sure that's a moniker. So
Aye, but
They're the heralds.
yeah, they are the heralds.
well,
They're the ones that bring their,
But they are-
force their voices upon others.
Exactly. So
And do they have a voice that leads them?
No idea who leads them. We just
Well-
barely know much about their organization.
if you're just basing off the name itself, usually the herald doesn't have the information. He's just spreading the information.
Right. So if the organization's responsible for spreading information, perhaps their interest in the press is different than we think. Perhaps their interest is to augment it. Put that dark powers in it. What if whatever message they're trying to spread is what they intend to use Gutenberg's device for? We've got to get by that caretaker. We've got to understand the condition of
I-
this
I-
device and this inventor. Make sure that he's okay. I have concerns. I have worries. How?
Is there any way that their magic could put like a subliminal message into Gutenberg's work?
I mean, that would be another occult magic check.
No.
But that means talking to Dash.
Yes.
So he'll fail.
How sane do you really need to be, honestly?
How sane do I need to be? Yeah, I have to. That's intelligence 2. 18.
Hey, that's actually pretty good.
How many marks on sanity do you have? Just
All of them?
permanently? Yeah.
All of them?
You have all of them?
All of them.
I think
No, I think you start with a certain number. I think you start with
I
3.
had all of mine.
Well,
So you have 4?
I had 4.
we
Well,
have,
I had 5.
we have 5.
Okay, yeah.
I thought because she had the whole occultic, the demon in her sanity was reduced.
Mm-mm. No, actually, her sanity would be normal. It's just she's at greater risk of sanity
Ah,
because of every time she talks to him.
got it.
Or every time he talks to me.
Yeah. Dash shows you a series of flashes and images
Mm.
of rituals and activities by people that don't matter. It is simply him expressing how something works. And many times, magic that does curses are the imbuement of a voice or an influence. It's quite possible that they are attempting to imbue their dark magic on the device
Mm.
so that it speaks to Gutenberg, and then he prints what he hears in those voices.
Okay.
I think the question is, how do we get inside? How do we find out how to bypass this caretaker? Is this somebody you think you can deal with, Una?
What's my history with them? That would
I mean, you already know some information about the caretaker.
right. Have I
You've
run
never
into
really
them
run
before?
into any of them yet. You
Okay.
know about them.
Okay.
I mean, no offense, you're a bit of a lug. You, well, you're barely a drink of water. But Una,
I can try and sneak past them.
can you get inside? See if
Okay.
you can understand what's going on. Report back to us, and then we can plan our next moves.
I might be able to do something to help with that. Like, may I use your alchemy supplies?
Leaves.
What
Stop
do you-
asking.
It's called being polite.
Captain's like, here you go. Here's 20 silver.
It's fine, Captain. Don't worry.
Where's the rock?
He reaches in underneath a shelf and puts it in front of you.
I'm gonna go over to the alchemy supplies, and I'm gonna try to make
Lad, that's purely medicinal.
He needed a lot of medicine.
I'm
Help me sleep tonight.
gonna try to make some snake oil.
Yeah. What's the DC on that?
It's a 14.
14. Okay.
This is with my botany stuff.
Okay.
Maybe I should have done master this stuff. More. Anyways. Oh. Oh. Nope. That is what 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope. I rolled 2 6s. That was a fail on snake oil.
You want to expend the luck? It is the end of the day.
It is. That's 18.
There you go. You
Yay!
managed to recover the recipe, and with a little bit of luck, you put the ingredients together. And what's the
I
effect?
know how to fix this.
Yeah. And what does it do? What does snake oil do?
Snake oil. Okay. It grants the consumer 1d6 additional dexterity points for 1 hour when imbibed. Additional doses of the snake oil do not provide additional benefits until the
They don't
following
stack.
day. They don't stack. But I can give you a 1d6 for your dex. So
Okay.
if you're doing sneaky stuff by yourself,
Okay.
it can be helpful.
My recommendation is the two of you go with her. Keep an eye out while she sneaks in. And then
Maybe
report back what you
distract
find. But Una, if you see an opportunity worth taking, I recommend you take it. A throat is slit to make our job easier. I'm not one to complain. So with that, you guys enjoy a meal, some conversation with Mac. Mac leaves you in the workshop to go and attend with his family. It's midnight. It's that
Perfect
late-
time for
Yep,
sneaking.
it's that late night hour.
I'm going to give you the snake oil potion.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the aqua vita so you can give yourself some temporary hit points so you don't bleed maybe next time.
You don't want. I can.
It gives you 1d6.
I'm okay to bleed though. Apparently.
You just get to be sneaky and not get bleedy. That's your
I love
job.
it when we make up words. It's always so much fun.
Right.
You don't get bleedy. You get bleedy, but don't get bleedy. See?
Now, you guys being stealthy while doing this?
Yes.
Oh, I
Okay.
am.
I have no stealth at all. I'm kind of hoping that I can stay back with the wagon.
We're taking the wagon.
I mean, it's a cart road, right?
Well, I mean, you're going into an area of the city with the intent of keeping an eye out for when she heads in. I mean, conspicuous versus blending in, I leave that up to you.
I have no sneaky powers.
Blending.
Well,
in
it's not
would
about
be-
it's not about being sneaky. It's about, keeping a lookout while she sneaks in.
Right.
Is it more sneaky to have the wagon? I mean, not sneaky. Is it more blending in to not
Well, I
have
think
the
the
wagon?
I think at this point we're looking at deception.
Yes.
This feels like a deception moment.
Yes. So
So you guys have a plan. Like, if you bring the wagon and the mule, what's your story if the guards decide to question you?
I'm an apothecary, so I'm making late night runs to sick people.
I like that.
I was, my office was told that there was some.
And since he'll be with you, he can give you the help action.
He's
Yeah.
my bodyguard.
Yeah, he can give you the help action by assisting you. So give me a deception check.
I have no deception, but I can give myself a luck point. Yes.
Yep,
And with
you
his
can spend. You can expend the luck.
And with his help, it would give me advantage instead of disadvantage.
Correct.
That's 17 plus intelligence. Wait, deception, charisma. Do I have charisma? I have 1 charisma.
Yeah, 18. Okay, that
Woo-hoo.
is the DC for anyone to try to figure out why you're there.
Cool. I'm so glad
The
that worked.
streets are quiet. Is there any preparation you do, Una, for this effort?
Drink the potion.
I drink her potion, but when we get closer, because it only lasts for.
And
an
we'll
hour.
say when you're on the outskirts of the warehouse that Gutenberg is in, that you decide to drink
Yeah.
the potion.
Other than that, I mean, just tightening my clothes, making sure I'm not,
Yeah. Yeah.
tightening everything.
And now you feel the warmth of Dash,
Mhm.
and you just feel that connection that you two have when you do these things,
Mhm.
when you focus like this.
Mhm.
Give me a endurance check, if you would, please. Give me resist supernatural.
Supernatural. I don't have resist supernatural.
Do you have luck?
Yeah. I have lots of luck.
Which you should probably use.
Yeah.
Okay, so I use 1 point and then I don't have disadvantage,
Correct. It's just a regular die roll.
and I get those back when.
You get everything back long rest. Well, we went over that rule like 20 million times.
2 weeks ago.
Anytime that costs her anything, it's always, how do I get it back?
Oh, I did.
How many video games have you played where you get a finite amount of things that
17.
are really good and you never end
17.
up using them?
You are emboldened by Dash.
Mhm.
He,
When you know how to duplicate them, it's fine. But you don't know-
Dash, uses a great deal of adrenaline into your form to give you that ability to focus and be quicker, which allots you 2 temporary hit points.
You put in temporary.
And
We'll just make my hit points 13.
before she goes off, I'm going to make sure that she's behind me.
And then
I'm
your
between the two. I
your
will
potion
skip
is
her
1d6. Am I?
the potion that she gave me. But I was kidding.
You're giving her the Aquavita?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
One that gets cut.
gives
Does it stack
me-
with the-
Because you two are pretending to be apothecaries.
Mhm.
And that's why your deception is 18, but you're going to slip her the Aquavita?
Yep.
Okay.
which gives
Which, in case you need it, will give you temporary hit points
For now.
after you lose.
But it doesn't
Good
give
point.
you back your health points back.
No, but if she loses her 2 temporary,
Yeah.
this will bolster
Mhm.
and give her more temporary hit points. Ooh, I like that. Good idea.
okay. So I pocket that.
Everybody give me perception checks as you examine the outside of the warehouse and the streets and alleyways that you're tucked away in.
You know what? Luck. I'm lucking myself.
Remember, it's dangerous to use all your luck.
I know.
Uh,
To roll on that table.
I'm 19, so I have 6 luck points.
That's fair. That's fair.
As long as I don't use all of them.
That's fair. And see, that's the cheat sheet I need from Josh.
Mhm.
Is I need that cheat sheet that says what I need you to roll once you use all your luck or your
Yeah,
great
there were
or
some
all
tables.
your.
There were some tables you
Yeah.
could print them out like I did these.
18.
Yeah, you could if you could for me, that'd be
Yeah.
great. Yeah. 18? What'd you get on your perception, Emily?
I roll a 1 and 2, so you know.
She didn't. She
2.
Ooh, kitty.
15.
Yeah, I'm still playing with the cat. Why is it still in the cart? I don't know.
You wait for the timing of the first
Okay.
patrol to go by. Their spears kind of making noise. They have poles with lanterns that hang off the end of them. And you watch as the 6 city guard kind of go by laughing. There's blades kind of clinking against their chainmail armor. So they're very easy to hear when they're coming by. And so far, from best you could tell, they come by every like 30 minutes. They come through this area. This is a more kind of light industrialist area, a lot of storage warehouses and kind of like manufactorium style, where furniture is assembled or carved or made, or just kind of has that kind of industry feel. But you don't notice anything out there. You notice that the warehouse has a wooden ladder attached to the red wall. It goes up to the roof. The roof is a slate roof. A wood base with some slate kind of hanging off. You can see lead pipes hanging off of the top one of it to help guide the water down towards the street. The structure appears to be 2 stories, but you suspect that the interior itself is probably all 1 story, and that this is just a large wooden structure. It's the absence of windows that you find interesting. Hopefully there's probably not even ones up high. I get the feeling that the light that hit inside is probably coming from the sky. There's no windows on the gate.
No.
See. Which is interesting. Do we have insight? Yeah, three wise and insight. Yeah, you can roll that too. You two might know the trick. 16.
Let's do it.
They are probably using old rags and linens and stuff where they practice. Underneath the door, wherever light. Somebody is making sure that no one is taking anything. Based on what Mac has been able to do. Oh. So you have that for now. So yep. Yep. Go ahead and give me a stealth check. It's eerie when you see the one. To not hear someone move, it's almost like a full stuff. And it's just, you can see the silhouette of her shadow. You know where she is. She makes no noise when she moves over the ladder. And by the time you try to focus in on where she is, and she's heading up the ladder, she's already on top of the ladder. And you see her kind of quickly pull herself up over the edge. Separate your active. Yeah. Correct. And then you have check the characters, reference guys, like that. Okay, good. Yeah, I like that.
So, 4, 2,
Well, the other thing you might do is tablet. If you can download an app, it'll give you that Evernote or digital post-it notes. Have you seen those? They're literally little stick-it notes that you move on your screen. Yeah, you can put your logo on there. Yeah, you know. Yeah, you can do it on your tablet. You know, why are you afraid to lose it? If you get to the top of the roof line, looking down, you can see Emily on the captain. Their position. Alleyway and street plan. They've got a full view of the street. This grants you a view of the rooftop, including the streets going over there. And sure enough, very crude, poorly built, like glass is very expensive back in this time. It's not something that it is mass produced for the quality. So as you look at the skylights that are up here, you can barely see the glass. It's all good. Poor creation. But there is light emanating from down below. The light coming out through the sky. We'll say you stealth carry those. There are 4 skylights. There's not enough here to be
doors. The only you remember seeing on the front of the door was the big double doors that belonged to the house. But you could feel that they stuck moving the light from shining out. One other door. That one other door was probably which probably why. Now that you're up top here, you don't see any signs of concern about it. Tell you it might not be able to get in. You crawl over to the nearest skylight. You need protection. What's the very rough looking bit. You can move it. See at least 3 individuals. See another individual who seems to be working on 8 foot tall, 4 foot wide. It's too disfigured through the marbling of the black. Any other mumbling? They're working. Doing shaman. Several later. Hear the camera. I don't think it's like give me investigation.
What?
Skylights are sealed off with lead and they have caps. You find one set of skylights that is very important. Could try to remove a couple of things of glass. You or possibly see skylight.
What?
Space. There are support brackets. Should be able to. They're about 3 or 4 people. Yeah, I know. I like that.
Yeah, but even if you try to shell,
I think if we were doing it, it would be a blend of sleight of hand, right? I think because you're doing it, it could be a blend of sleight of hand and stuff. Being quiet while I'm physically removing glass. So what's your sleight of hand? Good. And what's your step? Good. So that's one. I think that's one case of blend between. So we can say that. Yeah. Yeah, like sleight of hand and secret are different, like different abilities. Ooh, I have.
Fine. I tried.
But I think what the point is, though, the blend idea is if the skills come from different groupings.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily different
Or different masteries.
Yeah.
like, it doesn't matter if it's letting it. I'm sorry, I have input. I have 2.
Well, but I think the blend is based on because it's like it's the 2 skills divided into 2. Is the way the blend is. I have to reread the rule, but the blend. I got to read it. 16 plus 5. Yeah. Take out this knife and scrape off the loose piece of crumbly lead. You take out a little bit of pine tar and throw it back. Press it on with the glass. Lift the glass up. Set it down. That's not what she meant. About 2 feet below the skylight, you can see a series of rafters. They are 25, 30 feet long. They're gap. They are 50 feet.
How far from these people are we? Am I behind them? Or...
You're off to the side. But you do have a better view. You can see the devices that work. You can see the people that are helping them appear to be ordinary systems. Sitting kind of in the corner watching all of them, you see this striking looking. She was wearing all of her clothing. You can see. You see a long big blade at the side. It's probably what you can tell. And it tucked in the front of the belt. And her hair is still back and very severe. So it's going you can tell that she's very intently watching them and watching the front. From time to time, it's so right. That was the problem with her. Hers was 2 and 2. Yeah. Yeah, like there was no real
It
blend.
might make a difference.
It might make a difference if she gets
Right. And they're both dead. So if you're taking wisdom for one, then divide that by 2 and round up as well.
Yeah.
Whole body. Yeah, I think it's doing. I think. Yeah. That's what we're here for. Well, Mac can do those inside. You can actually see the device. Can't hear it. Can't really hear what he's saying, but he's got that look of someone who mutters to themselves while kind of working on it.
Okay.
Every now and then you hear someone talking. No.
Take a look.
Right.
Right, so she's reading. Right, so
I like you. But you two outside, give me perception checks if you would, please. Continue your ruse and to keep an eye out.
I don't want to get shot, so I'm not going to interpret it.
7.
I'm gonna try and look. Is there
The one thing.
is there a door or anything that we missed? Or maybe that's the only 2 doors.
Now that you're up high looking down, there is a set of wooden stairs that go up to a small built-in office space, like a loft. It's been kind of walled off with wood planking and kind of some privacy. There is a back door. You can see the outline of the back door. At its base, like the front doors, it's stuck ragged in the bottom. There is a makeshift kind of kitchen area that they continue making food and eating from. I would also say you see no sign of any kind of privy, so probably using an outhouse privy beyond the warehouse. So it would be an opportunity. The caretaker's very, very cautious. Her back to the floor, so that she has a full view of everything. But she doesn't seem to be too concerned about where you would be. She never really glances up. Just kind of, just kind of keep an eye on the work, as if their safety and watching them seems to be a priority. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
This is a longer amount of time. The investigation check is taking more time to do this. Sausages! Sausages!
Sausages and bangers! Bangers and nuts! Bangers and nuts!
18. The 2 dock doors are on metal rollers that you bolt aside. You can see a slide lock that makes things keep shut. The front access door the same way. The one thing you pick up on, because now you're looking from the inside out, is that near the bottom left-hand side of the building, there are 2 planks that show some sign of damage and like they've been rotted over time. That look like they give way pretty easy.
And you said it's in the back?
It's on the back wall, like it's on the back wall where near the door's exit would be to go out towards the back of the building. It looks like these planks are like heavily water damaged because you can see like light coming from the outside through the plank. That might be a way to get inside. Might be enough wall there. Yeah, possible. There's a pile of straw at the base of the block.
Okay, so 2 planks go at the back and in the back, by the back door, and it's big, big weight.
The night air goes still. There's an unusual quiet. You no longer hear
But where I am or there?
everybody. As you're keeping an eye out and you're examining the interior of the building, yeah, the silence catches all 3 of you off guard. No boots, no chatter of the city background, just a very strange, subtle silence that creeps in. All of you feel the coolness of your spines kind of tingle with the feeling of familiarity of something
We're in mythology.
dangerous is around. Something is watching
We're in mythology.
all 3 of you.
Is it
Yours, or do you consult Dash?
Mine.
Okay, yeah, you give me a little mythology on it.
I got a 14, a 19, and a 20. Plus intelligence. So I got a 20 plus 2.
Okay, 22.
I grabbed my bedroll from
Okay.
the back of the cart.
Yeah.
And
I hide.
you know, under the bedroll.
I love it. I hide.
Let me keep the book. So, thank you.
17. What do you? Oh, yeah. Superstition is a strange thing. The feeling of something foreboding or something that's a power you can't explain. Out on the deep ocean, you felt this before. Just being on watch, staring over the railing of the ship to see this huge silhouetted figure float underneath the ship, massive, and then disappear off into the beyond.
I would like to say that I'm whispering prayers. I'm not like,
Okay,
super
yeah.
religious, but I'm whispering prayers.
Yeah, and then mumbling prayers underneath.
Under my bed. Roll.
For you, Una, there was a simple job that you took. And it was a target that you felt was easy. But there was a strange foreboding, a darkness that overwhelmed you, made you think twice about that opportunity that you had. And this is that same feeling. As all of you kind of freeze in place, you can hear the low murmurs of Emily praying to herself, praying poorly. Single figure comes walking out of a darkened alleyway. Catches you off guard at first. It's his size, or their size. You can't even see what they might even be. 8 feet tall. A huge black cloak is wrapped around their form. Their hands gently tucked into the sleeves at their waist. And this figure moves so quietly and just so purposeful. Yeah, right. And comes out of the alleyway and stands up. Its head looks up towards the sky, and it stares. The shadow. Yeah. Then you the stem, and then it leaps into the water. So it's staying unaware of what's happening. They stop because they see something. Then they seem surprised when you get attacked. The shadow is in and amongst them so quickly, so fast. The strange part is, the 3 of you are watching this in silence. There is no noise. There's no guttural growl. There's no slashing of flesh. There's no sense.
Let's like big fire.
Yeah, you're just like,
Murmuring prayers.
I need all of you, all 3 of you to make definitely the super fun. There's this super
What? I'm pulling a lot.
I've got 2 more left for the day, but it's midnight.
I have 17.
17,
I just have disadvantage, but I still rolled the 3.
8, and a 3. As you two are locked physically on what's going on, it doesn't make any sense. There's no sound. These guards are being torn apart in front of you, and you're so fixated on it. The unnatural sight of it doesn't really affect you. It's confusing. It doesn't make sense. Why are there no screams? What is this thing?
Do we see them screaming at the computer?
Yeah. Like one of the guards pulls out his blade and is like yelling. His mouth is wide open like he's screaming. No sound. You watch as his throat opens up.
Why?
What's your phobia?
Being tickled by puppies.
That's about as yours is what? Fear of water? Oh, see, I still think that would be great if you got
I would have been great.
a captain, a sea captain who's afraid of
That's
water.
my people students.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we had that.
Yeah.
You feared being possessed.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I told them, you take it to the
And it's
I
pretty fun.
rolled on the table and got that.
You lose. You said you are pulled back into a memory. Visual violence. You're a young learner, and you're learning at your father's side. Father is taking you for battle. The battle takes place. And the two of you were moving through the and as your father stands there busy and you look away and go out over the battle, the outline of the shadow is struck. Every now and then, the shadow stopping, hovering over the corpses, moving. The shadow stopped near a man who's standing slowly coming up, gasping for air. The shadow hovers over him, and suddenly falls and goes on, gasping for air. The shadow begins to closer towards you. You feel your hand grip onto your father's arm, and in pain goes, "Doctor, what is wrong?" And he looks. Shadow comes. No longer there.
At certain times, I'm so sorry. Deeply, and my blood makes a shift of it. My blood is coming out of my mouth.
This is now Emily doing
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
You hear her start coughing. You watch as the disemboweled corpses on the ground, the shadow amongst them. The shadow stands at full height, and its howling wind turns to look in the direction of the top. It begins to move towards the left. And that's a little bit I love water. I love water. It's so much fun. You acquired a new dark secret. Or is that part of your dark secret?
And it's like a dramatic or it's real. But seeing the thing,
Yeah, God, that's awesome. I need to forgot. But I like asking that. That feels like an easier way to approach it. I'm not sold on the one who's skill yet. I think I should spend the lowest. But here's the thing. Technically, you finish the session, so each of you get an XP. So everyone gets 1 XP for finishing the session. You can buy points with the
you
XP.
can put it in something that you don't have, or you can save it for
Okay.
something you want to put
So
in
we
Yeah.
get one unused. We get a
You
check.
got the rules there. You know, look it up. I know you don't like to read rules. You want me to tell you all the
I
answers.
want you to
but
tell me.
No, you need to read. That's the whole point of
I was
playtesting.
trying to find skill points and how
Where's
you
the
get
top?
more skill points and
I
stuff,
mean, there-
but it says nothing about that in the code.
Well, no, it's a character progression. It's a new chapter called character progression.
That's in one skill.
And what's your question?
Question is how you get more skill points. From here. You get one.
Yeah, because we completed a session, so you get an XP.
So the skill points are actually counted.
No, that's a currency for skill point. 1 XP doesn't guarantee a skill point.
So
There's a currency for how much XP you spend to
but
gain
you're
skill
supposed
points.
to put XP on there. That's not an XP.
Experience point is not a skill point. It's a good. Remember, we're playtesting, so the character sheet needs to be relevant. So in character progression in the book, that you earn XP. And XP is currency for 5 skill points. You could also find a tome or a book in the game that is currency that allows you to earn a skill point. So there are other ways of character progression that you can use. Now, I think there's character progression for when you tick off a box as well.
Yeah, what is the picking up the box?
It's like a character progression.
So the question is if XP is not
Right. That should be under the character progression section. And I feel like that would be an interesting one to have on the character sheet. I think like progression, a progression box, and how to interpret progression would be pretty cool on the character sheet. I think that would make sense. Because chapters 1 through 4, right, there's the basics.
No such a thing.
I think it's scale and oh yeah, the out of left scale.
Yeah.
I need to face that one. I know we read it before. We read it when we did the process. But no.
I just thought XP is skill points were anonymous.
Well, they may be synonymous, but they're not. I don't think they're treated as the same interpretation. I think you're meant to earn XP in different ways. So a single session completion is an XP, but I could award XP as well. So like maybe you did really well finding clues, so you guys get an extra XP for finding all those clues.
Yeah, to see like what I'm saying is like if XP and skill points are the same.
But you're making a false argument. You need to find where it's written in the chapters so that I can then ask Josh and say, okay, are we using XP correctly? Making XP shit up, it's not going to help them. We need to find the reference. I wonder if character progression is different. I could have sworn we had character progression in here, so I'm a little confused about that right now.
Chapter 6 progression.
Okay, I'm looking at chapter 1 through 4. Chapter 6 is the total copy.
Characters growth and development. Players gain 1 XP each hour of gameplay.
Okay, so you
Okay,
guys
let me see
get
if I
3
can-
XP then. It is, I couldn't remember if it was session or hour.
That's different.
A different document.
GMC board.
Prodigy skill or staff. No, that's a. But it says skill level and then it says XP point. So he's got few skill points and XP. It does look like it must be synonymous.
Well,
So skill advancement, skill level, and then it has XP points on that chart.
right,
1, 2, 4, 8.
right.
Prodigy skill level.
So there's attribute score improvement. You can actually spend XP.
Look at the one below.
I know, I'm just going. So there's the ability to improve attributes.
Points are XP.
Yeah, so they're the
Yeah.
same. I wonder if they're
So what it is you can use the XP on your skills or your your attributes.
Right.
So
No, I was just trying to find out where do I put XP? How do we gain XP? That was, or not skill points.
right.
Skill
So
points.
unused points under the skills, that is XP.
Yeah, that's what it feels like that I'm reading there. I'm hoping Josh can give us some feedback on that.
And I am also curious about what the check marks are for.
Those are the only ones you can spend it on.
Yes,
Okay.
because you've used them.
Okay.
Thank you. I remember that. We talked about that. That part I like. I like the idea that it rewards creativity.
GURPS is the same way.
They do the same thing.
I mean, they don't do it with the check mark, but you have to have
Have to have used the skill to
in order to
be able
get
to level up it.
I mean that's good because for anything that you use that you did not have.
You get 1 extra XP because you role played that fear roll really well. So I want you to take an extra XP for that one.
Thank you.
So we played for 3 hours. So everyone gets 3 XP. You get 4 XP because of your because you actually melted in the memory and the dark secret at the same time. That was pretty cool. I mean, it's probably gonna get you all killed, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or at least Una can just watch you die from up top on the roof.
Why do you think I gave her the potion?
I told you should have had it.
That's my
Well,
secret. It's
yeah.
survivor's guild.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. The
Yeah.
survivor's guild. You know what? Give yourself an extra XP.
Yeah.
And give yourself one too because you had a lot of fun. That was pretty cool. That was a lot of fun. I love how the potential is right. I feel like that's what that one tool is there for. So that as you're being creative, I need that luck. But what's you know, but it creates that tension because if you run out of luck, then we got to roll on the run out of luck table and see what happens. You know. And we took 2 sanity on that one. So that one I don't have that. All right, everyone, we are learning as we go. We are technically playtesting this for Josh. It is not a complete system yet. He has given me everything is authored up to this point, and then we get together and we do feedback. He's actually going to be on Lawfully Chaotic with us this Thursday at 6:30. So if you want to meet him and have any questions for him, join us over at Lawfully Chaotic or here. You can watch us after the fact. You can comment.
Well, happy sticky.
Sticky note. Okay. I used to use one called Evernote.
Evernote is like a
Gotcha. Okay. Evernote, well, even OneNote has the sticky post-it things you can do. I think they're called posts or something. I forget
but
today.
sticky notes that you can move all around your
Your screen and stuff. Yeah.
are sticky.
I would recommend trying those out. So when you want to just take little quick notes, you don't have to worry about interacting with anything. And you just jot it down for later.
I think I'm going to try and call for those points on intelligence to bring it up to 130.
Okay.
So I would need to come to
Go for it.
a little bit less scary. with
Yeah.
the roll.
Yeah. Awesome. You guys can spend those now if you want to before we
That's
sign
what I'm
off.
thinking. Like I'm thinking about it. I can spend 2 to bring up Dex to 12, which will be +1, and then spend 2.
Because you know there's a fight coming when we come back next week. So
Yeah.
this may be a little bit more of a prolonged fight. I will say this much, combat doesn't last much longer than 15, 20 minutes.
I think I might.
Should we clear
That shot's not the one. It's a good shot. I think
Am I
you would.
something?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, technically, you have a level. I mean, there's no level 1 through 1. There's simply improvement of your skill. Absolutely. I think that would make sense. Well, and because one of the things I talked to Josh about was, what if a player?
Once you have upgraded a skill, uncheck the box. You check the box. You have successfully used the skill again.
Yep.
So it's only when you've upgraded it, you can stay stuck.
Yeah.
Until you upgrade it.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. It's kind of clever. That way you don't actually lose the skill that you gained from it. The possibility of so learning. But one of the things I was talking to Josh about, I'd really love to put like manuals and books and little learning things the players can find. And spend time learning that and succeed on PC. They can gain through the extra skill set. Or if you find a weapon that's crafted in an expert way, It therefore allows you to gain skill points in that weapon choice.
So
Not necessarily the bonus,
I upgraded
but because
to
it's a
one,
better weapon,
and then
you gain skill because it's a better weapon. I'm liking some of the loose mechanics. I like it.
Should I? Maybe it is.
one that I
So we'll be back here next Monday with part 2 of our shenanigans. Be safe, be kind, and don't forget, everyone.
Play a game!
Good night, everybody.
think I'm going to upgrade this.